Hello, I just showed you how to do a work in the round but with granny stitches. So you're working into the spaces and not into the stitches. But I kind of want to show you how to do a solid circle. So working in a circle in a solid fashion is slightly different. And this will allow me to show you how to do increases. I am still going to do I'm going to show you a different way. This is not the typical magic chain or magic ring that you'll see if you look in some of the crochet circles, but I have a loop on my ring and I am going to chain twice. And then instead of, actually I'm going to do 3. And instead of connecting them, I am literally just going to work into this one chain for the entire first row. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to do half double crochets and I will do 10 of them into this one circle. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into this chain, yarn over, pull a loop up, and then I will pull the yarn through all 3. The next one is yarn over, insert into that space, pull a loop up, and pull through 3. I'm going to do 8 of these, so bear with me. Yarn over, insert my hook, pull a loop up, pull through. Yarn over, insert hook, pull a loop up. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 3 more. And 1 more will be 8. Okay. Okay, so from here, I'm going to, so this is my chain here, but I want to actually insert it into a stitch, and we're going to do a slip stitch to make that a circle. Okay. So now that we've done a slip stitch, we need to chain to get ourselves into the same level as the next stitch. I'm just going to chain 1 because I'm doing half doubles and I don't want to include the chain. But when we increase on the first row of any circle, I'm sorry, the second row of any circle, we are going to increase in every single stitch. What does that mean? It means that I'm going to do 2 double crochets in every stitch. So because I started with 8, I should end with 16. Okay, so we are going to double crochet into this first stitch, and then we're going to do that again into the same stitch. So I have 2 here. All right. Moving on, we are going to yarn over, insert our hook into this stitch. There's 2 on top here. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and then we are going to pull that through all 3. And because I only have 1 stitch into that one, I'm going to go right in there again, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through. Okay, my yarn is stuck on something. Give me a second. And my dog is going crazy as well, so. Okay. So we have, right now I have 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to keep working. I'm going into this next one. If you can see right under here, that's the next stitch. I lost that one. Okay. And I've got 2 in there. This is the first one in this one. 1, 2. Need to move on to the next stitch. 1 and 2. Okay, here we go. We're going to do 1 and 2. 1 half double and 2. Okay, I'm gonna do one more here, and then I'm gonna count my stitches. If I don't put a marker here, which I would encourage you to put markers there, I just forgot. It's hard to kind of tell where you start sometimes, or like which of these you want to end in. So the confusing part is, do I work into this part right here? So I'm gonna count, okay? So I'm gonna count from my hook because I think it's easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So I have 16, and I want to put my hook through this very first one here. I'm going to do a slip stitch. Okay. All right, so from now on, every row you should increase in that row by the number you started with. So I started with 8 stitches. In the second row, I ended with 16 stitches because I doubled it. We're not going to double every single row, or you're going to end up with a wavy circle, which is fine if that's what you're going for. But if you want a flat circle, what you do, how you work, so 16 plus 8, that would be 24. We need 24 in the next one. So instead of putting 2 in each, we're going to do 1 in the first one and 2 in the second one. So I'm doing 1 in this stitch and then 2 in this one. Okay, I hope you could see that. So we're just going to repeat that pattern, or that stitch sequence, all the way around. So we're going to do 1 in this one and 2 stitches in this one here. So, oh, I lost it. I need 2 stitches here in that same one. All right, again, we are back to 1. I'm sorry, my dogs are barking a lot today. Just my one dog. Okay, I'm gonna pause this so I can go get him. All right, sorry about that. We are on the 3rd row of a circle. We're increasing each row by 8, and I need to start my sequence over with 1 here, and then 2 in here. Okay. So I'm going to do that all the way around. 1 stitch, 2 stitches in that one. 1 stitch, 2 stitches, all the way around. Okay, I finished with the 3rd round, and I'm going to hook it together, or get it together with a slip stitch. I counted, I have 24 stitches. So I'm going to go into here and do this very first stitch, and then I am going to do a slip stitch. Okay, so for the next row, I want to add 8 stitches. So 24 plus 8 would be 32. So I want to make sure I chain. I am actually going to start this row with my double. So instead of starting with a single and then doing 2, I'm going to do 2, 1, 1. Okay, so I'm going to increase in the first one this time, and this is really just to make sure I don't end up with an octagon. So increase, but you can increase in the same stitch every single time if you want. That will give you a bit of an octagon, which is also a different effect. So I did 2 in that one, but in the next 2 I need to do just 1 crochet. So 1 crochet in that stitch and 1 crochet in this stitch. So we're going to repeat that sequence all the way around, doing 2 and 1, 2 here, and then 1 stitch here, and then 1 stitch here. So you can make a circle infinitely big by doing that. Whatever your first row starts with, and I do think, so the bigger the stitch or the taller the stitch, the more you can get into this first row. If you tried to do 8 single stitches, they're a little bit fatter, and if you do this sequence, it won't be quite flat. Double crochets, you can get up to like 12 in there and it will stay flat. Okay, so we're doing 8 for the half double crochets, and that seems to be a good repetition. So I'm going to do this again. I'm going to do 2 double crochets into this stitch, and then 1 into the next 2. And then I'm going to go all the way around and meet you back. Okay, we are at the end of row 4, and I have 32 stitches, and I am going to slip stitch, yes, into this stitch here. Okay, and I just want to talk for a second about, see, it still curls up a little bit, but it's definitely flat. So if you were going to make a hat or something that was circular, what you would do is you would increase till you get to a certain point, and then you would just stop increasing. So you would get to a circle, and then if you stop increasing, you'll more like make a tube-like shape, if that makes sense. To finish off the edge, and I talked about this in a different video on the slideshow, but you can start a chain, and then you kind of pull it tight, almost like a knot. Then I cut the end, and then I just pull that string through, and that keeps it from unraveling. But here's this, and then finishing things, what I prefer to do, especially with this one, is get a yarn needle and then kind of thread it through this circle so it's a little bit more reinforced. This way of doing things is not as sturdy as this one that we did with the chain.